What is up, guys? In today's video, we plan to get this running and riding.
No rear brakes at all. So, whew. But we got front brakes, so you know what? We're gonna send it.
So if you watched the last episode, you know this is a 2004 Dyna Super Glide that we picked up to do a flip because we were trying to make some money and move along our channel. We have a couple projects in the work. We need some extra cash, and this was such a scorching deal that we had to pick it up, but it doesn't run. So in the last video, we picked out a battery. We got the bike, got the battery, got the bike or the battery in the bike, got it running, but it will not run without the choke all the way out. So we pulled the carb out. So we have the carb in a box and everything kind of disassembled here. And we're going to go ahead and order a rebuild kit, and then we are going to attempt to rebuild it. Now, your boy has never rebuilt a carburetor before, so we are going to figure that out. I'm going to go ahead and order the kit. I wanted to get everything disassembled so I don't have to do that at another time. I think it's supposed to be decent tomorrow, but then for like the rest of the week, rain and just disgusting. So wanted to go ahead and get that knocked out while I already had the bike pulled kind of out and working on it anyways. So let us jump into the future when we have a rebuild kit, and after your boy has watched a few videos on how to do this. I've never done it, but how hard can it be, right? Worst case, I've got a couple of friends who can help me put it back together and fix all my mistakes if I make them. All right, we are back, and honestly, the bike got rained on. So the bike was on the other side of the garage, and I pushed it out and went back inside for something. I was in there for like 5 minutes. I didn't think it was gonna rain anymore, and the bike got soaked. But that's all right. We might be able to get this thing to run today. So here is the carburetor. Now we've actually already taken it apart and done what we need to have done, and there's a reason for that. One, I'm not a carb guy, so I don't really know what I'm doing. We did buy the super cheap, like $13 Amazon special rebuild kit, so we're not using like the majority of this. Honestly, the main reason I got it is because this little tool right here, we could have used our own thing, but like that came with it, and that kind of like bores out all your jets. And it did come with jets. I'll get one, but I don't trust them because there's no number on them, and our jets are fine. I figured I'd get this kit just in case we screwed something up. We did reuse some of the seals. I did not use their main spring that goes in here because the old spring has way more tension than this spring does. So I used the original spring in here, cleaned everything out, replaced some of the seals. Honestly, this thing was pretty clean on the inside. Everything works pretty good. One of the jets was clogged. So that jet being clogged, I'm hoping is our problem. We're gonna throw it on the bike and we'll get back with you. All right, the rain has definitely set in, so there will be no riding today. But we got the carb put on there. It's just kind of placed up on there. I haven't put the breather or anything on, just in case we need to take it off. But let's put some, I don't know if y'all can hear that. A good day to be working in the shop. But let's get some starter fluid, get up in there, hopefully get gas, pump it to the carb, and see if we can get this thing running. All right, not sure why the camera stopped recording. The battery didn't die. I'm not quite sure. Took the battery out, put it back in to kind of reset it, and I think we're doing pretty good. We've made some adjustments. I forgot I took the idle mixture all the way out while I was working on that bracket or to help get the throttle cables out. And I was like, why won't this thing idle? And then I realized, oh, it's got nothing. But let's start it up. I think we're good to go. So obviously it's a little warmed up, but this is no choke, no throttle. Now it's not running too bad. So I am pretty happy with that. I'm gonna throw the air cleaner back together and put it back on the other side of the garage. Tomorrow, I don't think it's supposed to rain. We'll clean her up, take her for a ride, and that'll be it. We already sold the wheels for this thing, and that puts us at under $3,000 for this bike, running and riding, everything we've put into it. That's not bad at all. So we're going to throw this up on the interwebs. Hopefully it'll be sold by the time we already see this, but we'll fold that money into another project. But tomorrow, let's take this thing for a ride. All right, it is the next day. We are back and the dyna is clean. It is not completely detailed, but it is resale ready. We did a nice little clean on it. Nothing too perfect. A lot of the metal probably needs to be polished, but we're not gonna spend all our time doing that. What we are gonna do is go for a little ride, take some pictures. We're not going far because this thing is not road legal as far as paperwork is concerned, as far as the government concerned, not road legal. So we're just gonna go down the road and back. We'll stop at the corner store, take some pictures for Marketplace, come back and wrap this up. But let's see how she does on the road.
All right, let's take this thing for a ride through the neighborhood. I said, let's take this thing for a ride around the neighborhood. There we go. All right, we've already cleaned her up, so we're gonna go kind of slow through the driveway. I was going to go for a ride, then wash it, but then I was like, man, the whole thing's gonna be really hot. I can't really wipe it down hot. So we'll just wash it first. We're not going far. And like I said, this thing's not getting a full detail. We're just trying to kind of clean it up, be good enough for the pictures, which I forgot my phone. So I'm gonna have to turn around and get my phone, and then we can go out for a ride. Alright, we were just getting ready to get out on the road, and I'm really glad we tested this. No rear brakes at all. So, whew. But we got front brakes, so you know what? We're gonna send it. But yeah, that rear brake, nothing. There is nothing going on there. So I wonder if that's a bad... I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But we're gonna take it easy. There is a car behind us, but we're still gonna take it easy. They can pass us if they want to, even though they probably can't, just given the road we're on. But yeah, she rides pretty good. I know there's a really bad bump right up here, so I'm very curious to see, at the cost of my spine, what the suspension's gonna do. Okay, that actually wasn't bad at all. I think they fixed it because there was more of a hump instead of a divot. There was a pretty bad divot there earlier, so okay, they fixed that bump because it should have been way worse than that. Even on a bike that has good suspension, bounce is pretty bad there. But yeah, the bike rides pretty good, shifts through the gears nice. Everything's, you know, I checked the fluids, everything's pretty good. The bike rides really well. I mean, it doesn't shake too bad. These bikes shake a little bit, but it's not, you know, more than normal. So the little two bumps there feel very normal. So suspension's not clapped out that bad. So happy about that. You know, we're going 55. getting up there to 60, and the bike's just cruising. Handles well. So I mean, it's a really good early model dyna, other than the rear brakes not working at all. You know, in an emergency situation, we probably shouldn't be on the bike right now, because if I had to brake hard, I would be screwed. I do not want to be clamping down on front brakes only. But hey, it is what it is. We decided to do this, so if we get hurt, I guess it's on us. But we're gonna pull into this little corner store over here, take some quick photos, and I guess we can't list it for sale because we need to figure out what in the world is going on with the rear brakes. All right, pictures in hand. Hopefully this thing starts right up. I believe it should. Yeah, that started up real fast. She does really good when she's warmed up. I have no idea how long it's been since this motor's actually been warmed up. It's pretty crazy actually, because it sat for a long time. All right, well, maybe we need to go back to the house and figure out the whole rear brake issue. She gets down. Probably shouldn't really do that, but she gets down. So let's get home. The only bad thing now is the rear reservoir is right by the muffler, and that's going to be hot. So probably need to take that off and see if it's got fluid in it, or maybe we could hit the bleeder. I don't know, but now the bike's going to be hot. It's not really going to want to be something I want to work on. But oh well, we'll figure it out. All right, crisis averted. So we got the rear brakes back. Like I had hoped, they just need to be bled. I use this little tool here, and it's pretty simple. It's just a little hand pump or a vacuum pump, and you put this on your bleeder screw, which is right back here. Pump it up, get some vacuum, open her up. You don't even have to hit the brake pedal, any stuff like that. It'll suck up all the air and some fluid out, and that remedied the problem. Just to prove, there's our little back tire slide right there. So our back brakes are working where we had absolutely nothing before. Probably just been sitting for a long time. Like I said, this bike's been sitting for a while. While there is some fresh gas in there, probably should have drained everything completely out and then put fresh gas. I don't know how much gas was in there from old dude, so I don't know. It's at a half. I probably put a gallon and a half, and I think the gas gauge said like half when I finally got it running, so we'll see. But what you see right here is a sub $3,000 running and riding dyna, early model dyna Super Glide. It's a pretty solid bike, 6,000 miles. It's like 61 something, just under 6,200. I'll probably advertise it at 6,200. I'm not gonna ride it anymore. She's solid, looking good. We're gonna make some money, but other than that, go out there and find you something like this. These things run so good. Those carbs are easy to clean out. Probably could use with a complete rebuild, but I didn't trust 100% some of that cheap stuff I got on Amazon. Honestly, I just wanted a couple of the seals and that little threader little thing that cleaned out the jet. It's really what I was after. But I knew that would be good enough for this bike, because honestly, it just needs to be ridden, and like everything needs to warm up and cycle multiple times, and possibly some new plugs, some stuff like that, and then she'll run perfect. Or maybe it needs to be rejetted for whoever's going to get it and what their climate is, because elevation and weather have a big deal, especially elevation. If someone in the mountains buys this thing, well, then they probably need to be rejetted for something else. But this is kind of a story just to trying to show you that, like, within 2 videos and some pretty basic stuff, we changed the battery, cleaned the carb, and bled the rear brakes. And after all that, she is running super smooth. And because we were able to sell the wheels, we're in this bike for $2,900, and that's what basically all the parts purchased. So sub $3,000
for a nice running and riding dyna. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird year, so the wheels are like 1 3/4 inches, and the seat is going to be a little weird if you want to get a different seat. But all that means you got to buy a brand new one. You're not going to be able to find one used. That's not a big deal. And these wheels are pretty sick. And even still, like, you can find the wheels you need if you don't want to stick with these. But that's a solid deal, and I'm glad we got it. So the reason for this little mini 2-part series was just to kind of show you how easy it is to sell this thing, or get a bike to flip, or get a bike to just have as your own. This would be a super solid bike for someone to have, especially if they're interested in getting into Harleys, or interested in like getting a carbureted or an early model or something that's on a budget. Like, these deals are out there. You got to be ready. You have to be ready when they're ready to drop. You got to jump on them instantly. I picked this bike up, I think 16 hours after the first message, and mainly because the message was done at night. I messaged her and she'd probably already gone to bed, picked this up the next day, and we were off to the races. So if you like this type of stuff, please hit that like button. If you want to encourage me to buy more bikes, please do so. Comment down below, buy more bikes. The wife may not be happy with you, but this one's going to go to another home, so, you know, we can do some tradesies. We have another project coming up that we are working on. If I was not profusely sweating, I would continue working on it today, but I am done for the day. We have some other business to attend to, but I wanted to get this wrapped up and get it online. I really want to get this thing sold, so we have room for another one in case another deal pops up. But comment, like this video if you don't mind. It helps so much. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. But as always, keep it wretched.